HONN equals whatever you want to say. I've been called it all.
Hun, hone,
Pac's the one
hun,
who started the
Hina, hana,
Hun.
hona, hina.
I actually had never been called Hun as an abbreviation until Pac started it. Now all sorts of people call me Hun.
See, I should go all southern on honey and make her honey. Three
Hey,
syllables.
that's good.
Three
That's not
syllables.
bad.
Brined. I knew it had to be brined. Kinka, I did not finish Sister Location. And let's not talk about that with the rat, because he already gave me crap for how long it took me on night 4. I'm not over night 4. He asked me Sundays. We were at church. We were at lunch after church. He says, "So what did you think about how far did you get in the Sister Location?" I'm like, "I got through night 4 the first day." And did you play it all Saturday? I did. And have you beat it yet? I spent 3 more hours on friggin' night 4. They made it easier, you know. Yeah, I know. Tell that to my lily white ass while I'm still sitting in the chair for 3 dang hours on the same night. Then he's like,
What are you talking about?
a Sister Location. It's a
FNAF
Freddy.
game.
It's a Freddy. Oh my gosh, he says FNAF too. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
Fire Dale.
Five
I
Nights
can't
at Freddy's.
believe
Most,
FNAF.
most
Got it.
people understand that before they understand just saying sister location.
FNAF. But
Yeah, I
FNAF.
had no idea what
the Five Nights
But
at
Sister
Freddy's
Location
FNAF.
means.
Sister location.
The new Five Nights at Freddy's game. So then he's like, well, do you know what you're supposed to do? Yes, I know what I'm supposed to do. So I went into a whole tirade about how you gotta wiggle, 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 because they crawl up the sides. And then the other one's gotta slide down your belly. And you can't wiggle, wiggle when they slide down your belly, because you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle when they slide down your belly. Then they go, hey, I noticed you now. So you gotta carefully time the wiggle wiggles to knock the guys off the side and not disturb the guys that are sliding down your belly. And sometimes they all come at the same time. And then he's like, well, you gotta wait till the 2 are on and get them at the same time. Do you realize that sometimes it takes 4, I say 4 wiggle wiggles to knock those suckers off the side? And you only got so many wiggle wiggles because the whole time, this is serious business. I'm telling it right like it is. And the whole time,
What you're talking
the
about?
little spinny
The
things,
wiggle wiggles
the
on
little
the side.
spring traps. Yes, you do. Okay, you are trapped. You are kidnapped.
Where did my turtle go?
You are kidnapped inside.
What?
You know the little animatronic doohickeys
Nope,
at pizza
don't.
places? Oh, yes, you do.
Oh. Huh. So. Huh. That's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
You know the
Something
animatronic
totally
things at
different.
pizza
Yeah.
places like Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese and Disneyland and
Yeah.
stuff. You are trapped inside one of those things. And it's dangerous. Like you're the person in the suit. And it's dangerous. Because it ain't no spoiler. I've been playing the dang thing, so everybody's seen it. Anyway, I'm in the suit. And the little chica's like, now be careful. Keep it wound up. You wouldn't want the spring trap to unwind because you're going to get killed to death. So you have to wind up. There's 6 little doohickeys on each side that you got to wind up and keep wound. Otherwise, you get killed to death. Okay? That's the first thing.
All right. So wind up the suit.
So you gotta
otherwise
keep 12 separate springy doohickeys sprung.
12 different things.
Well, wound. Otherwise they sprung, and you don't want them to get sprung on you, because then that's bad news. So
There's
you
bad
gotta
news
keep the
there.
12 things from going sprung. Then and every time you move, they're unwinding just from you breathing and your heartbeat.
And your heartbeat.
So they unwind. So you gotta constantly click, 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 click. It makes a clicky sound. It drives me nuts. 3 hours of this night. Click, 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 click. Okay. So then you gotta adjust all 12 of the little springy thingies. Then you have little teeny tiny miniature marionette obnoxious little ankle biter things, and they crawl up the insides of your suit. They're crawling up, and you're trapped in there. And you gotta wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You hit A and D to wiggle, 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 and every time I do it, I gotta do a shoulder shimmy. You gotta wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to knock the dang things down. So you gotta wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to knock the dang things down.
Wiggle wiggles to make the
Right.
to knock them. Yeah.
So every time you do the little bum, 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 shoulder shimmy, knock them down. But every time you wiggle, 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 you loosen the screw thingies, the spring thingies. So
we don't want to loosen the screw thing.
No, because if they sprung, you're dead. Okay?
Because
It's
of the
otherwise
spring-
known as a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Dealing with one thing makes the other thing
Make the
happen.
other thing go bad. Right. So, welcome to today's lesson on honeys. Good luck to you.
Wow.
There you go. Okay, so then, now you got a picture. I am standing up telling Pac, I'm giving him this description as we go, and I'm wiggling all over the place. So, anyway, so I was telling them, and the kids are just laughing at me. They're like, oh my Lord, Mama. And I'm serious. So then, you got to wiggle those. So the first stage is you got to keep all 12 little springy things from sprunging. Then, you got to wiggle, 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 and do the shoulder shimmy to knock off the little tiny ankle biters that creepy crawly up the side. Then, after a little bit of that, and sometimes only one crawls up, and sometimes you got them on both sides. And each wiggle has a chance of them falling down. And it can fall down on one wiggle, it can fall down after 4 wiggles. And I'm counting the wiggles because it's annoying. And 4 wiggles is a whole lot of loosening of the springy things. So then, hi Pac, I'm talking. So then,
Talking about now.
so then, you
Don't ask.
you
It's
have
almost
those
over.
little
Don't ask.
doohickeys on the side, and at a certain point, little creepy crawly ankle biters come straight up the center, and then they slide down your belly. And if you wiggle, then they notice you and they eat your face. So you got a time when you can wiggle, and each wiggle is a dangerous thing. You gotta slip the wiggles in for the side climbing guys.
Slip the wiggles in. when
But
it's-
yes, without the
Uh-huh.
middle slinky guys noticing.
While
Otherwise,
you're
they
cranking
kill
the
you.
crank,
Meanwhile,
it's
you gotta crankety,
thing.
crankety, the 12 thingies. And after a
Yeah.
while, you get like a mass, like a flood of little slidey down your belly guys. And the guys up and down the side come in more too. And then Pac's like, well, you gotta wait till they're at the top. Well, you can't just wait till they're all the way to the tippy top, because then they'll eat your face as they get to the tippy top, and sometimes it takes 4 wiggles. And you can't just wiggle. You have to time the wiggle for the things that are slinking down your belly. It is the most obnoxious, annoying thing in the whole time. Clinkety. And the more you wiggle, the more they unloosen. And if they get sprung, you get killed and dead. That is what the game
Was
is.
anybody counting the number of wiggles in that story?
I'm sure that's going to get highlighted.
Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle.
So, all the wiggling, and then it's ridiculous.
73.
I'm back for a moment. I'm just waiting for food to cook up.
73. Sure. We'll go,
Oh.
73 feels a tad bit low. Thank you for following me, whoever you are. I can't see your name because somebody decided to be a jackass.
That was pretty good, huh?
Maybe because I counted the wiggles as
Oh! Holy crap. Sorry.
Apparently something else wiggled.
Hi, Snoop. Nah,
Thank you for
no.
the
What was
tip.
that for, hon?
There was a scream. And I don't have it popped up, so all I had was a random scream because somebody was a jackass, so I had to hide it. I'm going to look. I'm sorry. Okay. I should catch my breath.
What is it?
Probably. That was pretty impressive.
Dr. Thmick wants to know what it is with me and fish. Could you be more specific, Dr. Thmick? I have no idea why there's a fish reference.
Nihon.
Neon's here?
See?